Hey guys, how's it going? Jay here. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be trying something a little bit different. We're going to be doing system videos because people have been asking me, can you review an entire system instead of the individual components? So we will still be doing individual component reviews because that's more meaningful, more in-depth. But as you know, as a reviewer, I change things all the time. I change the amplifiers, I change the speakers to evaluate them in different environments. So as I go along in the reviewing process, I just decided that it would be fun to kind of include you in the journey. So this is this is not my final thought on each of these components. No, it's not gonna be in depth by any means. No, it's not gonna include any specific, kind of firm ideas, but it is going to give you an idea on how what I'm hearing in the entire system. And no, this is gonna be not edited in any way or form. It's just gonna be very raw. So yes, I may make mistakes, I may repeat myself, whatever, but this is more of a vlogging style and I will get better as I progress, I promise. So let's start right away. So we have the Tekton 2-10 SET speakers. So these speakers were meant to be run with tubes. So this is the speaker that we have set up right now. We're testing them. And as you can see, they have 7 tweeters. The middle one is doing the high frequency and the rest is doing the mid-range. And then we have 2 woofers here. Here we have the Wilsonton 805 integrated amplifier. And so this is a very interesting integrated amplifier. After I reviewed the Wilsonton R8, which I will link in the description below, I brought this in to review it. And this is an entirely different amplifier. This is crazy. This is 110 pounds. So this is an entirely different story. Much more beautifully constructed. So that's the integrated amplifier we're running today. We have the Blue Node 2i as the streamer. So the Blue Node 2i is a very user-friendly streamer in my opinion. It is very easy to use compared to the Inuit Zen Mini Mark III, which does sound better, but the Blue Node is just excellent. You can do Spotify Connect, it's so easy to use. And so we have that connected to the Hollow Spring 2 DAC, which is an R2R DAC that many people have been raving about. So that is what we have in terms of the system today. We're streaming from the Blue Node 2i, coax out to the Hollow Spring 2 as the DAC, and then RCA out to the Wilsonton 805 integrated amplifier to the Tekton speakers. Now, when I had the Blue Node 2i directly connected to the Wilsonton, because the Blue Node 2i does have an internal DAC built in, it's a Saber DAC, and you can use that DAC. It's a pretty decent DAC, and when you have that connected to the integrated amplifier here through these speakers, it sounded a little bit too grainy, a little bit too shouty for my liking, especially when you're playing Spotify. So I decided, hey, let me try another DAC. Maybe it's the DAC inside is the problem. So I tried different DACs here, the Denafrips, the DAR 7 DAC, the tube DAC that I just reviewed. And we have the original Denafrips DAC over here as well on the shelf. So by connecting the Hollow Spring 2 DAC, which I find to be the most laid-back sounding DAC out of all the DACs that I have, it'll really allow the sound from the Node 2i going into the Wilsonton to sound a little bit more forgiving. So this allowed the sound to be more listenable in long-term listening sessions. So I didn't find it fatiguing at all. Whereas before, when I was going directly from the Blue Node 2i to the Wilsonton, to be a little bit more fatiguing and harder to get, harder to listen to for a long periods of time. So that's where the Hollow Spring 2 really helps in terms of kind of refining the high frequency that is in the system. So the high frequency can be extended effortlessly without being fatiguing or edgy or sharp or stuff like that. So that's what I found currently in my listening session for a few hours. Now here we have the Tekton speakers, and the sound signature of these Tekton speakers currently I find that is somewhere between the sound I'm getting right now is somewhere between the Pendragon and the Double Impact that I reviewed. So it has the high frequency extension and the refinement in the higher frequencies, like the double impact, which gives you an impression of a, more an audiophile speaker in the high-end world. And it also has the gut and warmth that the Pendragon offered. So this speaker is like a hybrid, or the best of both speakers in this system right now. That's what it sounds like. So where does the Wilsonton really fit in? What is this doing? Well, because these speakers don't need a lot of power, they're meant for really to be mated with tube amplifiers, like I mentioned. And although these sound really good with solid state, as I have tried with the Denon 110th anniversary integrated amplifier that I will also be reviewing, it really sounds best with this Wilsonton right off the bat. It just sounds much better. Now, given the Wilsonton does need to be played a lot more, because this just arrived yesterday and I just decided to turn it on. One of the reasons this system right now seems to sound really good is because of this integrated amplifier. So when I have this hooked up to the double impact, to the 2-10 SET, compared to the Denon 110th anniversary version, the tube amplifier offers more width to the soundstage. So what I mean by width is that it stretches above and beyond the speakers, and it is much more obvious that the width has been increased, so the soundstage seems larger. And not only that, but just like the R8, this has a strong point where the imaging is very spectacular for a tube amplifier. Now, the solid state does have better performance in the imaging capability, but you still get three-dimensionality with this tube integrated amplifier, in the sense that the performer is not only 2D in the sense that it's not just between the speakers, but it's also behind and also in front and to the side, wherever the performer was originally in the recording, if you so will. Obviously, there's not going to be extra performers performing. That would be magic, but it does perform extremely well in terms of that imaging capability for a tube amplifier. Like I said, solid state does a better job in that regard if that's what you're looking for. Not only that, but like I said, the depth is very, very good. The layering between the instrument is very good. And what I mean by that is when a string is struck, it doesn't just end here, but it vibrates all the way through the room, and it makes it sound like a real guitar is being played. It's like a power response, if you so will, in a sense. And that portion is not only because of the tube amplifier. I find that it's also because of the hollow spring, because when I played the hollow spring DAC back and forth from the Dana Frips with this integrated amplifier, I also found that the hollow spring does have more width. It stretches the width of the soundstage and pulls it back that way, so this direction, and whereas the Dana Frips is a little bit more forward and detailed and better imaging in the front, but that's for another video. So anyways, that's basically what I'm hearing right now. Like I said, it's not going to be any way in depth, but last thing that I will say though is that the system right now as it stands does offer a little bit of a disappointment in the bass region. That could be because the Wilsonton need to be played a little bit more, or that could be many different factors that I'm not sure about yet. I have to really dig into that as my part of my review process. But before, when I was playing the Denon integrated amplifier through these speakers, the bass was spectacular in both tightness, the amount, everything, the extension was perfect. But with the Wilsonton right now as it stands is a little bit lacking in the bass region with these speakers, while the mid-range and high frequency is extremely beautiful and more to my liking in comparison. So again, this is just a raw version. Nothing in this review or this segment is firmly into the ground until the actual review is released. None of these thoughts are actually real until it's released, so keep that in mind. And I just wish to take you guys on this journey where I review things. Maybe this will be interesting to you guys, and you guys will learn stuff on the way. So anyways, for now, let me sign off, and I will see you guys on the next one. Please subscribe and click that bell notification so that you don't miss anything, and I'll see you guys on the next one.